Hello students, today I am going to teach the topic Microsoft Cloud Platform. So let's proceed with the concept Microsoft Cloud Platform, that is Microsoft Azure. As in the today's market of cloud service provider, different CSPs are exist like an Amazon, IBM, with this Google. In this market there is another cloud service provider exists whose name is a Microsoft Cloud Service Provider, and that is called as Windows Azure or Microsoft Azure. Cloud computing provides a new way of looking at IT at Microsoft called Microsoft IT, that is MSIT. Cloud computing is now the preferred and default environment for new and migrated applications at Microsoft. Microsoft IT has developed a methodology and a set of best practices for analyzing their current applications portfolio for possible candidates to migrate to cloud computing. This analysis enables Microsoft IT to select the ideal cloud computing based environment for each application. MSIT has captured these best practices and documented them for other Microsoft customers who wish to migrate their organization to cloud computing. As there are several benefits of Windows Azure for your business. First is for the agility, second is for the focus, third is for the efficiency, and fourth is for simplicity. This is one of the platform where you can develop and deploy the application, and as per the need of the infrastructural resources you can scale up and scale down the resources which has been used. Then also every resources you can monitor because it's offered on pay as you go basis, as well as every services are simple to use and implement in your application. As number of companies, number of small businesses are adopting this cloud platform as a Windows Azure for developing their application as well as running their businesses. It is the one of the best solution for number of IT companies where software development work is going on. With this scenario, with this environment, as companies or organization need to subscribe for this Windows Azure services, and they can use different services very efficiently as per their needs. Why Microsoft partners care about cloud computing? Let's now focus on this point. First is reduce the operating cost and increase the revenue. Second, improve business agility and shorten time to a market. And third is cloud computing is here to stay. Because of this reason, Microsoft partners care about cloud computing in terms of operating cost and increase the revenue. New market channels via software as a service and cloud services are offered in the Azure. Also, new business opportunity enabled by massively scalable storage and compute power, which is referred as a platform as a service in the Microsoft Azure. And it runs on pay as you go subscription or a platform. Because of that, every IT company or organization adopting these things. Of course, the cost for investing multiple resources with their listenings and all, definitely Azure can reduce the operating cost. Next is improving business agility and shorten time to market. As we know, every cloud services is famous for 24 by 7 availability. Like this, Microsoft Azure is also providing services for 24 by 7 to their customer, to their client, or to their subscriber. And it is the one of the platform who pop up within a short time compared to other cloud service provider. And they are nowadays very strong in the today's cloud computing market. As Microsoft offers software plus services, let's have a look on that one. With this, we can access different Windows Azure or Microsoft services on your personal computer, on your phone, or on your TV where the internet access is available. Now it is compatible to various gadgets. With this, they are comfort with different client technology with is provided by Microsoft or supported by Microsoft like in Windows, Microsoft Office, Microsoft.NET. It's an IDE, integrated development environment. Then Silverlight with this Internet Explorer. Nowadays it's called as a Internet Edge, which comes in a new version. With this, on a server side, Microsoft provides the SharePoint server, System Center, SQL Center, and Windows Server. If you compute these things with an cloud oriented infrastructure as well as tools and cross platform support. So, on a cloud based support, Microsoft providing SharePoint services, SQL services, and Windows Azure. And from that, Windows Azure is more popular. Under that, you can get access of different SQL services. With this, Microsoft has support the various development environment that is called as 4GL languages, which is like an Microsoft Expression Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio. Now this is a own product by Microsoft. Apart from that, Microsoft has support for the application development within languages like in Ruby, PHP, and Python. So on a client side, this is giving a proper software plus services support. As how Microsoft views the cloud. The basic fundamentals behind that is it's looking for scale out. Next is automated service management, high availability, and multi-tenancy. As the base of these fundamentals, there are different considerations like an location, infrastructure, business model, ownership, and management. As the number of resources you require, that you can use it from Microsoft Azure, or Microsoft Azure is providing that different resources as a service. That resources you can scale up and scale down whenever you require. Also, it is a well support for automation. Automation in the sense that once you written a script and that you put in a one run book, which is one kind of block, and you assign the task for that. So at a specific time interval, such runbooks gets executed. Then another point of view is a high availability. If you are subscribed Microsoft for the storing purpose or application deployment, so from the any tenancy, from the any node, the storage data is easily available to the end user or the customer. That is in terms of high availability and multi-tenancy. So different consideration like an it is accessible in off premises as well as on premises. It support to the homogeneous as well as heterogeneous. It is support to the OPEX as well as CAPEX, that is a business model. Then ownership, it's kind of that where you can subscribe for this Microsoft Azure directly, or once you subscribe you can give services in terms of storage on lease or rented basis. Then as a self you can manage, you can monitor your Azure account, or with the help of third party also you can view your Azure subscription. So this is the view the Microsoft look towards the cloud. Then as a Windows Azure platform is an internet scale cloud service platform hosted in a Microsoft data centers around the world, proving a simple, reliable, and powerful platform for the creation of web application and services. As we previously also studied that at an on-premises application support, with this web services and application we can deploy on this Windows Azure, and we can properly access that Azure services, as these are available in various mints like an Windows Azure storage services, compute services, and management services. Like that, it having strong support in a SQL Azure in terms of relational database management, different tools associated with this SQL Azure, and also you can properly manage the database which is present in the Microsoft Azure. So these are the certain highlight points in terms of Microsoft Azure. As Windows Azure automates the management of your IT resources in terms of service management, in terms of virtualized computational management, in terms of storage service, in terms of security control, and state of the art data centers. As service management point of view, it is performed by the fabric controller, which controls all the resources within the data center. The fabric controller deploys your service and monitors the overall health of the fabric. As in the storage services, in Azure allow customer to scale to store large amount of data in any format for any length of a time, only paying for what they use or store. Also, it support in the IT environment as a virtualized computational. This is one of the feature which is present in every cloud services. In Microsoft Azure also offers virtualized computational that it provides massive application scalability. Customers can build a combination of web and workers roles. Those roles can be replicated as needed to scale and applications and computational processing power. Also, as a IT resources, whatever data we are storing within a data center or with the help of different cloud service provider, where security and their control is very much important. As Azure state of art physical security process combined with strictly controlled operating access model, data is replicated in multiple fault domain in location selected by customers. That are the number of features. Because of that, it automates the management of the IT resources. Then there are different compute services are present in the Microsoft Azure. I can scale out, which is also called not up, by replicating workers instances as needed. Then the two roles are associated with this Azure, that is a web role and worker role. In this, Windows Azure applications are built with web roles, worker roles, or combination of both deployed to a number of instances. As the scale out allow application to scale user and compute processing independently, and each instance run on its own virtual machine and replicated as needed. And if there is an issue of network traffic, that time one of the services are is in use, which is called as a Microsoft Azure load balancer, which is performing very much important role as a load balancer to manage the network traffic. Also, in the storage services, how Windows Azure are performing. The main goals in the storage services offered by the Windows Azure is a scalable, durable utility-based storage. As Windows Azure Storage, an application managed by Fabric Controller. With this, Windows Azure application can use native storage, MySQL within a virtual machine, or SQL Azure. As SQL Azure, which is present on a cloud, so if you created any application that is and your Windows based application, you can connect with a such database or connect with an SQL Azure. Also, application state is kept in storage service, so workers roles can replicate as needed. Then there is important concept implemented in the Windows Azure, that is called as a CDN as well as blob. So blob can be stored in a global Windows Azure content delivery network. With this, we have one good example for this CDN. Nowadays, you can download number of softwares or movies or multimedia files, where on internet you can find certain links are there, and if you follow that link, then it will open certain cloud based storage, and with the help of that cloud based storage, your download is going to start. How this is possible? This is possible because of the one of the feature that is called as a CDN, content delivery network, and Microsoft Azure is topper in this CDN in terms of different blocks. As blob this CDN consists of, or storage consists of, different storage parameters like in blobs, tables, queues, and drives. Like a normal database, you can also create tables in the storage of the Azure. As already we know, blobs provide a simple interface for storing named files along with the metadata for the file, and also a durable NTFS file system, volume shareable access instances that is available in terms of drive. Number of times whenever you are configure your smartphone or configure your laptop or PC, that time you are going to install the setup of virtual drives. So that drives also you can get access from the Microsoft Azure, as the queues is one of the type of the storage where it will provide reliable storage and delivery of message for application. Then how Azure will look for the service management in terms of the implementation towards the clients or towards the organization. What are the goals in terms of service management by the Windows Azure? As goals is that it's an automated application management and control. As we know, fabrics are used for basically automation management, where a multiple virtual machines we can run per server. With this, we can choose different kinds of virtual machines based on your application needs or as per your requirement. So you can say a fabric is a collection of servers. Then this fabric controller will perform the service management in the Windows Azure. That you tell it with what to do, it figure out how automatically scale up, scale down, update, or application backup to previous version, and also simple system management and deployment APIs are a part of this fabric controller. So Windows Azure can do this service management with the help of fabric controller. As the cloud concept point of view, Windows Azure cloud services, that is a web and worker roles, which is called as a platform as a service, allow developers to easily deploy and manage application services. It delegates the management of underlying role instances and operating system to the Windows Azure platform. The migration assessment tool, that is called as a MAT for Windows Azure, encapsulates all the information to aware of before attempting an application migration to Windows Azure. Based on the response to series of simply binary questions, the tool generates a reports that outlines a amount of development effort involved to migrate the application or the architecture consideration for a new application. The Windows Azure price calculator analyzes the application potential public cloud requirements against the cost of application existing infrastructure. This tool can help to compare current operational cost for an application against what the operating cost would be on Windows Azure and SQL Azure. Windows Azure Pack for Windows Server is a collection of Windows Azure technologies available to Microsoft customer at no additional cost for installation into their data center. It runs on top of Windows Server 2012 R2 and System Center 2012 R2, and through the use of Windows Azure technologies It allows you to offer rich self-service, multi-tenant cloud consistent with the public Windows Azure experience. Because of that, they proven for the developing application as a familiar developer experience designed for interoperability and provide Microsoft technology like an Visual Studio, ASP.NET and SQL integration. With this, it will support different languages like in Python, Ruby and Java for the different application development. As a deployment point of view, the different tools are available in terms of Microsoft Azure, that is store data in the cloud, move application to the cloud, which is called as a migration, then create a new cloud services, then create a new solution by combining the cloud services. So all these services, all these tools are basically provided by the Microsoft. That is called as a Microsoft Assessment and Planning Toolkit. The Microsoft Assessment and Planning Toolkit, that is called as a MAP, is an agentless automated multi-product planning and assessment tool for cloud migration. MAP provides detailed readiness assessment reports, executive proposals, and hardware and software information. It also provides recommendations to help organizations accelerate the application migration process for both private and public cloud planning assessment. Because of that, here it's move application to the cloud, it's easier in this Azure environment. Also, map analyzes server utilization data for server virtualization and also server consolidation with Hyper-V. So these are the different solutions. We can combine different kinds of services in this Microsoft Azure for extend the application to the cloud. As there is one of the example as a SharePoint. Let's little bit talk about that SharePoint. So Microsoft offers its own online collaboration tool called as a SharePoint. Microsoft SharePoint is a web application platform that made up of a multi-purpose set of web technologies backed by a common technical infrastructure. By default, SharePoint has a Microsoft Office like interface and is closely integrated with Office Suite. As previously we studied, these are the different Microsoft technologies where they are work together. The web tools are designed to be usable by non-technical users. SharePoint can be used to provide the intranet portals, document and file management, collaboration, social network, extranet, websites, enterprise search, then business intelligence. It also has system integration. In this, it also performs process integration. Unlike the Google Cloud Connect, Microsoft SharePoint is not a free tool, but it has additional features that cannot be matched by Google or any other companies. So this is the way where Microsoft as a software as a service. As we studied how the views in terms of the cloud, what is exactly in this Azure platform, how this automate your IT process in terms of different services or providing the different services, then how different roles are present in this Azure as a web role and worker role, as storage services, what is the main goals of this Azure, then different types of storage which are the part of Azure, also with the help of how they can perform service management, that is with the help of Fabric control the service management. It's a cloud environment, how it's feasible for launching any kind of application. Also, it's great support for the developing the application. Then how it is a best option for the deployment of the any application. So that is all about the Microsoft Azure or Windows Azure cloud service provider. Thank you.